The upcoming new planet for Honkai Star Rail, Amphoreus, looks to have quite a number of interesting things planned out. 3 different paths cover the planet, the Nameless will be going to a place even Akavili hasn't been to, Herta Prime seems to be involved in some way, and this whole place looks like it's taken inspiration from Greek and Roman mythology. Among the many lore mysteries happening, one that intrigues me the most are the Titans, the so-called gods or creators of Amphoreus itself. But are these massive and immense looking beings really gods, or are they something else entirely? That's what I want to talk about in this video. The origins of the Titans, their role in the story, and most importantly, what exactly they are. Before we dive into that, if you want to see more Honkai Star Rail content, do consider subscribing to the channel. Given I'm talking about the Titans even before Amphoreus is released, by the time 3.0 is officially dropped, some of the details here will undoubtedly change. But because I really want to discuss the Titans, I'll try to take as much information from the in-game lore, trailers, and the special program to keep it as accurate as I can. So if you're watching this after Amphoreus has been released, just excuse any inaccuracies and I'll be sure to drop an updated video soon enough. Also, the way I'll structure this is I'll share all the information we know first from trailers and other stuff, and only at the tail end of the video will I get into some of the more speculative ideas. Enough with the disclaimers, let's get into the lore for Amphoreus' Titans, starting with their origins. The world of Amphoreus is described to be one largely independent from the rest of the universe. What I mean is that because you can only view it through the lens of remembrance, its inhabitants are somewhat cut off from conventional knowledge or thinking. For example, we learn in the special program that as far as Amphoreus is concerned, the concept of eons is one foreign to them. Within the lore of Amphoreus itself, the Titans are described to be gods born from the core flames sent down by the previous gods of Amphoreus. The core flames are symbols of each Titan's divinity and the domain in which they hold power, but we aren't yet told on the details of these objects. Who the previous gods are, we also don't know, but the Titans are viewed and worshipped as literal gods themselves. As far as the citizens of this planet are concerned, the Titans are the ones to literally shape not only the planet itself, but even intangible aspects of reality like fate, time, and death. Some Titans are even credited with the creation of humans, at least according to legends. So unlike the inhabitants of the rest of the universe, most of whom have never even seen an eon, divinity and miracles are commonplace within Amphoreus. If you spoke or asked about the god that created humans or the one that provides them the gift of light, you need only look to the horizon and you can probably see them far off in the distance. Now, from the Golden Epic trailer, we learned that there are 12 Titans that make up the pantheon of Amphoreus' deities. 3 carved the heavens and the earth, 3 wove the threads of fate, 3 molded life with their hands, and 3 guided Calamity's gate. What we learned from the special program is that this can be taken almost quite literally. The 3 Titans who carved the heavens and the earth are the Titans of Foundation, and just excuse my pronunciation here, Aquila, the Titan of the Sky, Georios, the Titan of the Earth, and Phagusa, the Titan of the Ocean. It's very likely that when the Titans first came into being, these 3 were the ones to literally shape Amphoreus itself, bringing to life the sky, earth, and oceans respectively. Their role doesn't just end there though, as it's implied that each of these Titans also ensure these geographical features continue to exist and function. When some of these Titans disappeared or died off, Amphoreus was described to have its skies sealed and the seas sunk, leaving parts of the planet in a pretty desolate and destitute condition. They also kind of reminded me of Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon, as each Greek god was also the god of each of these respective domains, with Hades being more the god of the underworld. The 3 Titans that weave the threads of fate are Oronix, the Titan of Time, Talenton, the Titan of Law, and Janus or Janus, the Titan of Passage. These 3 are said to have introduced the fundamental laws of existence itself into Amphoreus. Concepts such as time, fate, and even universal constants like gravity are likely the domains of these 3 Titans. Admittedly though, it's a bit hard to speculate about these 3 because we know the least about them. The next three titans are those closest to humanity. The three titans of creation, comprised of Menestia, the titan of romance, Kefali, the world-bearing titan, and Circes, the titan of reason. Of these three, legends attribute the creation of humanity itself to Kefali, and Menestia and Circes likely contributed greatly to their upbringing. They are thought to have been the closest to the humanity of Amphoreus due to their involvement with them, and Kefali continues to shelter and protect them even to present day. Finally, we have the three titans of Calamity that likely represent the end of everything. Zagreus, the titan of trickery, Nicodor, the titan of strife, and Thanatos, the titan of death. These three titans represent uncertainty, strife, and the eventual end of all things. Now, for a time, each of these titans ensured the world worked in the way that it's supposed to, maintaining the world, ensuring humanity was protected, and even ensuring fate and reality functioned. But eventually, almost as if it was all planned, the final three titans of Calamity would decidedly do their job. Long ago, the titans of strife, death, and trickery descended upon Amphoreus, inciting divine civil war. Sometime after this, an indescribable black tide swept through the world. The Black Tide's origins remain unknown, but any life affected by it loses all capability for reasoning, with even Titans unable to escape its effects. Over the years, the Titans clashed and the Black Tide gradually engulfed Amphoreus, plunging it into eternal darkness. With each Titan falling one by one and some going into deep slumber, the things holding Amphoreus together started to weaken, leading to the end of the planet unless an alternative fix was found. This is what likely kicked off the Flame Chaser journey, a prophesized mission where the Chrysos heirs embarked on a quest to defeat the Titans, retrieve their core flames, and save Amphoreus. Okay, everything I just shared up till this point is practically everything we know regarding the Titans, taken from several different sources. We know their names, how they are viewed or deified by people, their divine domains and portfolios, and what the current events are like. From here on out is where we get into some speculation, because despite all this information, we still don't know what these titans actually are. I mean, obviously the story isn't out yet, but despite knowing all these other details, something as simple as what a titan is hasn't been made clear yet. Are they constructs built by someone to maintain this world? Were they once off-world emanators? Or maybe they are manifestations of the Celerons? This is really what I want to speculate a bit on before the official start of 3.0. Now, I have a couple of ideas about what the Titans are, but just to be clear, these are random ideas and not facts in any shape, way, or form. The first idea I had is that these beings are in actuality massive god-tier robots. Robots sound a bit weird though, so let's use the word construct instead. I have this feeling that each Titan is actually a massive construct built by persons unknown, maybe the previous gods, to effectively build and run Amphoreus. I mean, giant mechas aren't out of the ordinary in the world of Star Rail. We saw one in Belobog, and Sunday even built his own god mecha. So I'm guessing that each of these constructs are purposefully built and runs on either a Stellaron or some part of an Eon or path. I mean, we also know that Eon body parts are all the rage these days, so perhaps the core flames contain a portion of each of the Eons or their paths. This might explain why the Titans all have specific roles, some of which mirror certain Eons. In the special program, each Titan is said to be different, and their nature is largely dependent on their divine authority. So the Titan of Trickery almost always acts in deceitful and untrustworthy ways, almost like it's got a part of Aha in them. This makes the Titans and their core flames seem almost like different versions of the Eons and the Paths, respectively. The special program also mentions that the Trailblazer will eventually gain or borrow powers from these Titans, with an example being the Trailblazer able to manipulate time, shifting between past and present within the temples of Oronix. So maybe the reason the Trailblazer is able to do that is because the power of the Titans, i.e. their core flames, are similar or rooted in the paths themselves. The devs even kinda hint at this. Of course, this largely depends on how it actually works in-game. We could just end up getting a tool or something, but it's possible the mechanics work because these powers are similar in nature to paths. Plus, the whole mecha thing was something that came to me when I first saw Aquila, the giant god of the sky, as it looked a lot like Khaenri'ah constructs we see in Genshin. You know, like those flying field tillers or whatever you call them. Again, it's just a guess, but perhaps the Titans are really giant machines, powered by the fragments of the real gods of the universe, the Eons. They could also be powered by the Stellarons, but I'll get to that in a bit. My second guess is that these titans were perhaps once Pathstriders or Emanators that come from off-world. Those that wield the power of the paths have on occasion been viewed as powerful individuals and can even be sometimes confused for gods. A great example of this are the Arbitrators, one of the factions that follow Ho-Oh, the Eon of Equilibrium. Wherever they go, the inhabitants of those planets often confuse them for literal gods. Even an emanator like Acheron showcased an immense amount of power, and that's barely scratching the surface. So perhaps the Titans were once emanators from different paths that one time or another came to Amphoreus, though admittedly I don't yet know why they would take on such massive forms. The last idea I'll share is one related to the Stellarons, because nearly every planet we have been to has one of these things appear sooner or later. The most straightforward possibility is that each of the core flames are just a fragment of the Stellaron split into 12 divine aspects of the Titans, or maybe each is a Stellaron on their own. Perhaps sometime in the past, the inhabitants of this planet wished or dreamed up gods to maybe save or help them, and the Stellarons merely answered their wish. We have seen the Stellaron achieve crazier things, but it often comes with an unexpected price. So perhaps Amphoreus got the gods they wanted, but ended up being bound to a fate that everything will eventually end. So the three ideas are that the Titans are either constructs, past emanators, or the Stellaron itself. But there is one final possibility. What if it's all three? The Titans are actually mechas built to hold in the power of the Eons, the fragment of Eons and the paths are what powers them, and the Stellaron is the glue that holds all of them together. This isn't even really that weird of an idea, considering that even in Penacony, the Stellaron was used to tie together the power of the Order with the Mecha Sunday build, so perhaps all the previous theories are in some way true, or at least partly true. In any case, let me just remind you that these are again just guesses. Obviously, since the story isn't actually out yet, none of these ideas can be considered right, and maybe the Titans are something else entirely. I'm just overly excited about 3.0 and thought to share my ideas and thoughts about the Titans. Once we learn more about them, I'll be sure to make an updated video. But this discussion is long enough as it is, so I'll end the video here. Do you think any of these ideas are possible, or do you have your own thoughts on what the Titans actually are? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. If you found the video entertaining, do consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and as usual, have a nice day.